Frozen in place.
Hey, hey.
How you doing?
Oh, a little hungover, a little gay.
A little hungover, a little gay. I feel
Trying to
you.
make it work.
I am on that page of hungover.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where are you?
I'm in LA.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice. You should be wearing a mask.
In my house.
Yeah.
In between bites of food.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard. In between bites of food. That's the way to go.
That's what I just did a Netflix thing, and they hired a lady just to tell you to put your mask back up. Like if you left it down here, she would go, up, 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 and you go, oh, that was her whole job.
I wonder how much she was getting paid for that.
I don't know, but she was damn good at it. She deserved a raise. Yeah. We all hated her.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Nice.
it's been interesting. It's been interesting here in LA with the new Delta variants and the what was the new one I saw, the Lambda.
Yeah, the whole sorority.
Well, the Lambda kind of I could see it already. I can see the conspiracy guys already like the word lamb is in it. You're being sheep.
Right, that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Barack Obama was born in August, so that means he's a Leo, which means you're lying.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna keep all this in, but I'll do a little intro for you. I is that important to? I feel like it's important for comedians to get a proper introduction on stage.
Yeah, well, the intro can really make or break you. Like Seinfeld hates it if you go, one of the best ever to do it, living legend, funniest guys on the planet, Jerry Seinfeld. He's like, what are you doing? Now my
Ah, stop,
yeah,
stop.
you're getting the expectations way up. And then here's the biggest faux pas in comedy when they go, all right, folks, you're in for a treat. We got Mark Normand here. He's been on Comedy Central, Conan, Tonight Show. Put your hands together for Mark Normand. You can't say the name twice.
Right.
That one's done almost on a daily basis.
Jeez. You know him from Mark Normand?
Yeah. If you say the name once, it loses its gusto.
You also know him from MarkNormanComedy.com. You know him from at Mark Normand on Instagram.
Right. Keep going for Mark Normand.
Woo! Well, welcome to the RRBG podcast. I am here with Mark Normand. How are you, brother?
Good. There, you nailed it. But
proper intro.
This is nothing to do with Ruth Bader, right?
I did Google alerts on the name of the podcast just to see if, because sometimes I have musicians that'll drop some kind of, news that they hadn't dropped before.
Yeah.
So I get the little Google alerts, and I get so many for Ruth Bader Ginsburg stuff. It's so many. It's nonstop. There is an RBG Ruth Bader Ginsburg podcast somewhere on like NPR or something.
I thought I was doing that one. I was actually kind of bummed. I was hoping it was that one.
How unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, you are a fellow Sheath Underwear alumni, so I decided to wear my Sheath shirt today. Oh my God, are we wearing the same underwear? That's weird.
Whoa, look at that.
Same yellow.
That's the same one.
Same one, little yellow.
Bananas.
My balls are in a sack, people. They're in a separate pouch. It's separated. Yeah. It feels great. It prevents all the big balls rubbing against the thighs and all that.
Yep. It's Israel and Palestine down there. You got to give them a little separation.
Exactly. How was the Netflix filming, man? I saw you posting pictures and all that. So how did it go?
It was good. It was very good. I feel like we got it. We did two, and we got it clean on the first one. Knocked it out, very tight. And then the second one, I got real loosey-goosey and fucked around and riffed and played with the crowd a little bit. So they let you edit it yourself, which is super cool. Netflix does it right. As much as we all trash them for booking Rob Schneider and the other lady, they really care. Like they'd go, I noticed you forgot that one joke. And you're like, wow, you know my act. Man, you guys really pay attention. Whereas Comedy Central's like, hey, just film something and we'll steal your money. But Netflix... They really pick you for a reason, and it's all calculated and thought out. And I got to say, it was a pleasant experience.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you said, people give them shit because it feels like they give everybody specials. But, I feel like they can appreciate certain aspects of comedy that maybe you don't appreciate. You know what I mean?
There you go. There you go. Yeah, they really cared about the material, which meant a lot. Most people just want your following or your name
Mm.
on the platform. They actually were like, that joke is great. Don't forget to do that joke. So that was nice.
So this is part of a thing that they do, right? Like the stand-ups, is that what it's called? Like a
Yeah,
series?
every year or so, I think COVID screwed it up, but every year you do 5 or 6 30-minute sets from different comedians, and it's like a series. And
Okay.
everybody and their uncle told me not to do it, but I don't know how else to get a toe in the pool of Netflix. So I said, fuck it, I'm not going anywhere. I'll write a new half hour. And I jumped in.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I don't listen to people like that. I know, I get it. I get where they're coming from, but at the same time, sometimes you got to take opportunities when they come at you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, every brilliant, respected comic said, don't do it. And then Nate Bargatze said to do it. And I went, you know what? He's actually done one of these and it changed his life. So I'm doing it.
Exactly. It's Netflix. I mean, where are they going? They're not going anywhere.
Well, who knows? I mean, that's what Blockbuster said.
That's true. That's true. But I just feel like now with the streaming shit, it's harder. It's different. You know, it's a different world. There is a
Yeah.
million other streaming services too. You know, you got your HBOs and your Paramount. Like it feels like every single channel has their own fucking streaming service now.
Oh, yeah. You got your Amazon and your Apple, whatever. I keep hearing about Apple TV. I don't know what the hell that means.
They
And
have
then
their own
there's
thing. Yeah.
Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a different time. I think eventually, this is my prediction. You, sir, will have your channel and you can just put that on TV. We kind of have that with a YouTube channel.
Kind of.
But it'll be just your channel. It'll be like an app. And
Yeah.
then all your shit will be on that channel, and we'll flip through it the way we used to flip through MTV and CNN and Comedy Central and VH1.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I was having this conversation yesterday with a guest, and I want to see your take on it. But it's controversial to say it or whatever, but I don't, I don't really think everyone needs access to post things on the internet.
Oh, I completely agree. I think it's ruined our society. We're back to tribalism. We're back to burning people at the stake and the gallows. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good. It's not good. Twitter is evil and it's hurting us and it's doing more harm than good. Look, I like a zinger every now and then, but I don't
Yeah.
know, man. It's people get real wacky on that shit.
Yeah, and I mean, I believe in freedom and freedom of speech and all that.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
okay. I'm even okay with tweets because tweets are just
Sure.
like comments in the air. But I mean, like putting content out, like putting
Oh.
videos out. I don't think everyone needs to be doing that. Like, there's
No.
dudes posting, hoax videos on TikTok, like, oh look, the government told me to dump oil everywhere, and it's like that's not real. And now, but then grandma out in Arkansas believes it because it's all in the video. I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the nature of things. Like things get invented and they help so many people. Like social media and the internet has helped so many people. Tutorial videos, surgery, how to change a tire, how to do all that. Like these videos are amazing, but much like fire or water or the automobile, it can also ruin you.
Mhm.
Hey, fire kept us alive, keeps you warm, cooks your food, but it also burns your house down. And I think the internet is similar where it's this special, amazing new thing, but it could also ruin you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, we've seen it ruin other people's careers.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So you just filmed this Netflix thing, but you had the Out to Lunch special come out on YouTube not too long ago, May, I believe.
Ooh-wee.
And so what's the, I guess, what's the benefit of putting out a whole special like on YouTube just like that? Like, did they approach you? Did you just do that on your own? Like, how was that?
I mean, I've told the story many times, but it was
Oh,
a
shit.
huge failure. I had this hour cooking, and I was like, this hour is hot. It's really working in every city I go to. I was on the road for years and years and years, every weekend, just banging it out. And then one day I said, we got to try to get this on Netflix or HBO or whatever. Nobody bit. Other people were selling shit. I was like, look, I'm nobody. I have no juice. So I said, I bet if we shoot it, they'll buy it. All the hard work is done. We did all the legwork. All they got to do is sign a check and we'll give them the film.
Yeah.
And they still didn't buy it. So after that point, I just had to suck it up and go, well, I got to stop doing this hour. Everybody in America's heard it. So let's just put the fucking thing on YouTube and just kind of take the loss. And it turned out to be the best thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube's doing things to pay people now.
Yeah,
Sort
for
of
sure.
monetizing. I mean, you've got 300,000 followers. I'm assuming you've got all those partner things with YouTube and everything.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't know. I got to check in on. I'm so bad with that kind of stuff. I gotta get my queef together.
Did you?
Yeah, I get people all the time like, this special got me through. My dad died, and it brought me and my dad closer. My mom loves it. Now we talk about it. We watch other comedy, and thanks for putting it up. It's so funny because you see all the comments on YouTube like, this guy's a fucking saint, man of the people, putting this out for free, letting the people have it. I'm like, trust me, buddy. I tried to get a nickel out of you. Don't get me wrong, But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad it meant something to you and you liked it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. I mean, that was the first hour I saw of you because I met you at Kill Tony in the Comedy Store.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's where I discovered you and found out about you for the first time. But we actually hung out a little bit in the back, the patio. It's.
Oh yeah. Good time. That was pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, those were the days. We didn't know what we had.
Yeah. Oh my God. I there were nights where I was like, I'm not gonna go tonight. I'm tired. And it's like I should have gone. I should have gone every single night I had. Because now what? And we tried. When they reopened after the pandemic, they had these everybody sit down with the mask, and if you're eating, you could take it down. But then afterwards, they were shutting down at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, this is not fun.
Not fun.
What's the point of this?
Brutal. And then you thought it was going to go away, and you're like, we got out of it. We did a full year and change. We got the vaccine. America, here we go. Delta, blow me.
God, man. So how's New York dealing with this? Because I hear they're just, not as bad, but pretty bad compared to LA.
Yeah. Well, New York, I mean, it's this magical city full of energy, and that part is kind of gone, but it kind of came back, and we're in this weird place, not on LA level, but we got the hobos, and during the pandemic, they got real brazen and like, this is our city now. No one's on the streets. And now the streets are open for the public, and the hobos are like, wait, this was our time. And so we're clashing. There's a lot of slashings and stabbings and fights on the subway and shit. So it's a weird time in New York. It's not great. And a lot of people left. I mean, without that energy, without all the shit open, you start realizing, man, I live in a shoebox. My apartment's $8 million a week, and I hate my fat husband or whatever. So everybody got the fuck out and went to Jersey and Connecticut. But I will say, we just did this Netflix thing. So all these LA agents and Netflix people came out, and they're like, this is amazing. New York is such a breath of fresh air. We're getting our ass kicked in LA all day. The negativity, the hate, the COVID, the Newsom. So apparently it's still better than LA.
It's so funny that's the case. I'm from New Jersey, so I get it. And I'm old enough to know that New Jersey wasn't, not New Jersey, but like New York wasn't cool. Like, let's just go have a cool comedy show and get ramen and go to a brewery. Like, I remember Brooklyn being super dangerous. So,
oh yeah.
Before all the hipsters took over. So, but it's fine. I like ramen and breweries. Yeah. I like beer. What can I say?
And safety.
And safety. Safety's nice. I couldn't go to a Yankee game without getting, my dad getting stabbed. Back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, I moved to Crown Heights in 2007, and I got mugged twice.
People don't get it. People don't get how dangerous it can be,
So it's that weird Colin Quinn toss-up. What would you rather? Little excitement and a stabbing, or fucking cookie cutter and M&M store? Like, what's worse?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess when you get older, the M&M store sounds more appealing.
That's true. That's true.
So you got a podcast called We Might Be Drunk, and you guys are making a whiskey.
Yeah, a rye.
A rye whiskey. I saw the tasting video. You guys sat there and got trashed for, six different tastings of whiskey. So what have you figured it out? Did you find the one?
We did. We got a name. It's called Fat Cat. We tried like 9 different whiskeys, like out of the vat, barrel quality. We picked the one. We both fell in love with it. It was love at first taste. We got it. The distillery's on board. They're making a label. We picked the bottle shape. I mean, it's all good to go. And then you got to realize me and Sam are two road comics. So we're out on the road every weekend in Denver and SF and Portland and Austin, whatever it is. So you're basically just doing a campaign anyway.
Right.
So might as well sell something. And every club you go to has a bar, and they're going to go, we'll make a cocktail that we might be drunk, fat cat, queef it up, anal jizz, semen. So now you're pushing it already out the door. And hopefully, in 20 years, we can pull a Ryan Reynolds and go, hey, you want this fat cat? Give us 20 bill and we'll blow you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the dream, right?
Yeah.
That's the dream. I did a beer recently, but beer is a little more, it's not that, there aren't Ryan Reynolds buying up breweries.
Right. Good for you, though, man. That's cool. It's fun. It's very adult. It's entrepreneurial. You're trying shit.
Yeah. Sorry, I lost my connection. Give me 1 second.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Where'd it go? Where'd you go? There it is. Come on. What's happening?
Uh-oh.
What's happening? Where's this cable going? Good times.
There we go.
Good times. All right, sorry about
You back?
I'm back.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
I did a beer for the show. It was fun, but that's not going to lead. I need to make a brewery if I want to become rich off of beer.
Yeah, good point. Good. What was the beer called?
It's called I Don't Really Listen to Podcasts.
No way.
And it's for the podcast, so that's fun.
That's fun. I like it. Was it a lager or an IPA or what?
It was a regular lager. I just wanted something that everyone can enjoy if you like beer, because I know some people get pissy about IPAs. It tastes like soap. It tastes like oregano or not oregano, cilantro or whatever it is.
Right.
But yeah, I wanted something simple, something you could crush at a concert or something you could just have with dinner. So
hell yeah.
And I'm gonna keep making more, and I'm making collaboration beers with people too. Whoever's a friend of mine that's wanting to do something like that, I can help them out. I'm working with a few bands and athletes. I can't really reveal too much right now, but we're getting some beers out.
Wow, good on you, Fatty. That's exciting.
If you want a beer, I mean,
please, I'll
make it happen.
I love beer. Send it to my place. I'll go down on you, please.
Are you like a big beer? Like, how nerdy do you get with beer?
I mean, I don't know too much. Like I fancy myself a whiskey douche, and then I just sat with a guy in New York last week who's like Pappy Van Winkle rep and all, and I was like way out of my element there. This guy knew so much more than me, and I was embarrassed. But I just like beer. I enjoy it. I love a Pilsner. I love a lager. I love a Hefeweizen. You name it. But yeah, people send me beer all the time for our podcast, and I drink the shit out of it. So I just like it with dinner now. I used to be a beer guy, like eight glasses of beer at a baseball game, and now I'm like, I just want to enjoy this crisp lager.
Yeah. Can't be drinking 8 or 9 beers a day like I used to.
Same.
Get fat and get nice and fat, get nice and sick too. The your immune system drops and especially with all this virus shit going on. You don't want that.
Yeah. Here. Yeah, totally. Man. And you get that bloaty, that I get real puffy when I drink beer. If you look at a lot of my TV appearances, I'm like puffy as shit because I was like 28 and I was just a beer guzzling lunatic.
Yeah. So, going back to a little bit towards like what you do, your voice is very unique. I listen to a lot of comedy. And everybody, the ones that make it in my eyes always have a very unique voice. Like whenever I hear it, no matter what, if I'm not watching, I can hear it and be like, that's Mark Norman.
Wow. You mean the pitch or the candor, or do you mean like the actual metaphorical voice?
No. The pitch, the candor, just the sound of your voice. Yeah.
All right.
Because that's I think that's important too. It's not just your jokes or what you're trying to say. It's also how you're delivering it, how you're saying it.
Yeah.
Like when I hear George Carlin, I know that's George Carlin, no matter what, no matter where I hear it.
Same. I appreciate that because this voice has been a real problem. I mean, I've had girls be like, hey, you're not bad looking, but that voice is horrific. I can't imagine that talking dirty to me. And I'm like, I get it. It's a problem. And, I grew up in the South, so everybody was like, why do you sound like that? I'm like, I don't know. It's a problem. But thanks. I walked in on a guy once in a green room, and they go, Mark Norman's on the show tonight. And he didn't know I was in there yet. And he goes, funny guy, but that voice, ugh. And I walked in. I was like, I get it.
I understand. Yeah. I like it, man. I think it's got that projection that you want from like a professional. There's confidence behind it, I feel.
Wow, that's a lie, but I'll take it.
No, I don't know. I know that I've seen some. I did some research and watched some of your other interviews and podcasts and whatnot, and I know that you deal with a little bit of anxiety, and so does every comedian, and at this point, so does everybody with this pandemic. But
yeah.
But there is like an air of confidence in your voice. Like no matter what you're saying, it's hitting. And I wanted to ask you if that was something you worked on, but apparently not. Apparently it's just natural for you.
Yeah. I just try to go up and I'm not a confident guy, very insecure, but my trick is, fake it till you make it. There's nothing wrong. That's got a lot of truth to it. But I think speak without second guessing. Just speak. Just go. I took an improv class once, and the teacher said, if you can do anything in improv, just turn your brain off. Because how many times you're like, that was dumb. I suck. I got to kill myself. You said that. You're in the shower going, what was I thinking? Oh, my God. And if you can turn that off for the moment you're on stage or on a podcast, I think you're home free. So that's the key. So it's not really confident. It's just like blind faith, like just barreling through. Go, get through it. And then once I get done, that's when all the negative hits. So it's like I kinked that insecurity hose for a little bit, and then right when we're done here, it'll all fucking shoot in my face.
Bukkake.
Yeah.
I hear that. I used to do that with I used to perform in a band. I was a singer in a band for 10 years.
Wow.
So, but I also had that too, where I'm on stage. It's nerve-wracking. You got lights. You got not only is it's not just you. You got to also like make sure you're in sync with 4 other guys or 3 other guys, and there's a lot going on. So I would just kind of just go, and I would black out and then wake up after the set.
Yes, exactly. Same here. It's scary. They say public speaking is number 1 fear with Americans.
Yeah,
I can't imagine public singing.
I had an issue with it in high school and stuff, or in school where they make you, talk and make a presentation. Like I remember my first experience with it was they wanted all the students to do like a presentation on one of the presidents, and I got Calvin Coolidge. Who the fuck is that? But he apparently died while writing his autobiography. But I remember trying to do like a speech in front of everybody and just freaking out, and then my brain snapped. And since he died during his, I started playing out. I'm writing my autobiography.
That's good.
But it's nerve wracking. But yet there is that moment where you, like you said, you kind of just pinch the hose and black out and do the thing. But isn't that even more nerve wracking thinking about where we're at now with cancel culture and all this bullshit? Like, what if you say something and now your career is ruined?
Yeah, no, that's a factor as well. I mean, if you go through my podcast with Joe List, it's just like retard and all these slurs and, F word and C word and, all this shit. And I don't know. I feel like first of all, if you don't piss everybody off, they have look, we've seen some people get in trouble and the comedy community will attack them too. And I'm like, I think you were mean to some of them maybe. And now they're getting their revenge. They might not think you did that thing, but they're like, I never liked this guy, so fuck it, let's double down. And look, I don't agree with that. I don't like to live that way. I think it's pretty gross and tribal and scary. But I don't know if you got a good intention and it's clearly for humor's sake. I hope people can see past that. I mean, some sickos don't and just use it like that was clearly a joke. And they go, I don't care. We want to like ruin your life. It's exciting. Yeah. And you're like, all right. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not big enough. Maybe if I was a huge name, I would get taken down pretty quickly. But I don't know. I think if it's just words and you're clearly joking, I think you're okay. I don't. Who the fuck knows? Either way, I'm gonna keep doing it, and if they kill me, they kill me. But I got no ill will or maliciousness, and I think dark humor is funny. And I hope nobody. If you take it seriously, you're pretty stupid, or you're lying. So either one.
Or like you said, you're trying to ruin that person's life on purpose.
Yeah. Why is that not frowned upon? You know, it's like if you make a fat joke or a trans joke, you got to burn at the stake. Oh my God, you're so insensitive, you're so offensive. But how about this guy making something up to ruin my life and ruin my career? Isn't that also gross and evil? At least my thing was attempting humor. This guy is just attempting pain and inflicting sadness on someone. So it's a very strange. That's what drives me nuts about the canceling. And then we can leave it because I bitch about this too much. But like, look, Shane Gillis got in trouble with SNL, and everybody's like, he's fine. They always do that. He's fine. You're like, how do you know? The guy was depressed for 6 months. He was in the newspaper with R. Kelly and all these other people. Like, it ruined his brain for 6 months.
Yeah.
Where's your compassion now? Well, it's like if they deem you inappropriate, they have carte blanche to just fucking steamroll your psyche and your the mental anguish. I don't know.
You're a famous comedian. You're fine.
Yeah,
you're fine.
He's selling tickets. It helped him. What are you kidding? He had his dream job and it was taken away. How do you know how he feels?
Exactly.
You're so compassionate until
and there's no repercussions at all. Like there's none for these people.
I find it very strange and cruel.
Yeah.
You know, and we pick and choose. Sorry, like you make a Lena Dunham fat joke, you're the worst person on earth. You make a Chris Christie fat joke, you get a high five. It's like, I don't care either way. Make fun of anybody, but you can't do that. Oh, well, but he's a bad guy. To you, maybe she's a bad guy to some other guy. Like, it's very one-sided and biased, and it's fucking scary and weird.
Yeah, it's slander. It's slander, and it should be illegal. Yeah, it should be illegal, or at least some kind of repercussion. Because, like, here's the way I see it. If someone's slandering me and I run into them in the street, they're getting punched in the face.
That's a better system.
You know what I mean? That's just hey, who are you and why are you talking like that about me? Like, but there is nothing. They don't. It's the keyboard warriors that are online and anonymous, and they don't give a shit. Cyberbullying, and those are the same people that are cyberbullying people online. Like even like, non-famous people, just like anybody. Just hey, you're that video game you like is garbage, and you should kill yourself. Like what the fuck?
I know exactly. Yeah, it's complete bullying, and it's under the guise of this kind of heroism, activism, like. We're shutting these bad people down. It's like, but you're also bad. I don't know. It's so clear and obvious and black and white, but I don't know. And there's like these weird trends, like now it's Asian hate time. We got to support Asian. Okay, that's just over. Asians are fine now. And then we go, now we
don't got to support them anymore. Yeah, we don't got to support Asians.
Like, so now if you get caught saying a black joke now, it's worse than if you get caught saying a black joke when we're not in a hashtag time period. It's all very flimsy and flip-floppy, and I don't know. It's a bummer. It's a real bummer, and it wasn't around when I was younger, and it's sad that this is some kind of just new thing, and everybody's like, it'll swing back. I'm like, I don't know. It seems like it's here to stay.
And if there is a swing back, it's because of something like I was mentioning earlier with we need to limit who's posting shit online.
Yeah.
And then that comes with a whole other bag of problems, like, oh, we're communists. We're now under dictatorship. Like, we have no freedoms. And, like, come on.
Yeah,
Back, when I was a kid, you talk shit, you get hit. That's it. That's it.
That's a solid way to do it. It's a good system, but I don't know. Silence is violence.
Silence is violence. I wanted to get a little deep because, I don't know if you've talked about this in the past or not, but we were talking about anxiety. I've recently, in the last year or two, have been kind of dealing with my own in terms of figuring out where it's coming from and opening up all those boxes. Like when I've seen you talk about, your childhood being kind of like your parents were off on their own, kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Was that, do you think, the kind of just the foundation of your anxiety and depression or anything like that?
Well, I think, not to get too too queefy on you, but sorry, a little semen in the throat there. But
gotta let it get it, loosen it up.
Yeah. I think I grew up in a kind of a weird scenario where, like, your parents are always gone; they're workaholics, so they're like, "Hey, you figure it out. You're a bright kid." But then we lived in this neighborhood in this house where we got robbed constantly, and there was like no running water some nights, no electricity some nights, and people were breaking in constantly. So I was such a kid, and you're like, your parents aren't here, and there's so much crime and shit going down. I walked in on many robberies, and my bike got stolen on the street and shit. So like, I was a bedwetter, and I think I just learned that's like a traumatic thing. That's how kids deal with trauma. They wet the bed, and I didn't know that. I just thought I was weird. And so I think all that led to anxiety. And not only are you dealing with that, but you have my parents are kind of stoic and shut off. So we didn't really talk about it. We weren't like, it's crazy, we got robbed, right? Like, that's insane. You weren't here. I walked in on the guy. They were like, oh yeah, that sucks. And you're like, all right. So I think it was a lot of that shit that led to my anxiety. And then you just start, you're a kid. You just sit there and thinking and stewing. Like, what would happen if some guy came in and like beat the shit out of me and then took the VCR? I don't know. And so I was always in my head all the time. And I think that fucked me up pretty good. And then when I did therapy for the first time in my 30s, I was like, holy shit, I had all this baggage and I was putting it on other people and I wasn't dealing with my own shit and I blamed everyone else and I got problems. And that was a big breakthrough.
Now, it's weird to hear that, you went through all that and you have anxiety and all that, and then you still chose to do a career where you're in front of a bunch of people, exposed and kind of being vulnerable and putting yourself out there. What led you to kind of pursue comedy and not like, say, a band or, bartending or whatever it is? Like, why did you choose comedy?
That's a good question. I think because I'm confused about a lot of things. And a lot of people don't tell you the truth. And I'm not great at reading between the lines. When people say like big is beautiful, you go, oh, okay, I guess big is, and then they go, I need to lose weight. And you're like, but I thought it was beautiful.
Right.
And then they go, shut up, you piece of shit. I'm like, I'm just going off what you said, So stuff like that freaks me out. And like, I guess I'm maybe like spectrum-y or weird where I need things to connect. And if you tell me one thing, I'll just go with it. And I've always been a little off in that way. My teacher thought I was mentally retarded in third grade because I took a test and it said circle the instruments. And so you circle a trumpet, you circle a piano, and I circled a saw. And she was like, okay, he's clearly retarded. And my mom was like, why did you pick a saw? And I was like, I saw a Marx Brothers movie where the guy played a saw. It was a goof. And she was like, oh, okay, he's not retarded, but the teacher didn't buy it. So it's just shit like that where I'm so literal. Yeah. And comedy allows you to not only have an outlet, get laughter, but also you can kind of throw your thoughts out, and whether people agree or disagree, they react, and it lets you know what's real. Comedy is all about, when you break it down, it's about the honesty, it's about truth, and no one will really tell you the truth, especially now, which I think is why comedy is so popular. So it was just like a calling, like, this is it, this is my thing. Not only is it fun and exciting and challenging, but it's also therapeutic because they're laughing at shit that's real, and I needed that. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you found that. I'm glad you found that answer because a lot of people don't, and that's how you end up with people getting suicides and or shooting up a building because they're just so miserable. They chose the wrong career path. They chose the wrong life choices. The wrong girlfriend. Everything just goes wrong, and then eventually it just blows up.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I was a dumb kid. I was a horrible student, but like shit would fuck me up when people would say, I don't see color. And I was like, oh, so you're colorblind. And they're like, no, I just mean with different races. And I'm like, oh, is that so? Are you dumb? Like, what are we doing here? And shit like that would fuck me up. And that's so right then you're like, this is a perfect joke premise. Like this is exactly what I should be talking about. And right when I figured that out, it was all green lights for comedy. Like, let's talk about shit like this on stage.
Yeah, that's good, man. I'm glad that you found that. Like I said,
thanks.
It makes sense. It works for you. Like when I saw you on stage, it just this guy's been doing it for his whole life. That's what
Oh, wow.
that was my thought process. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a comedian who's been doing it for a very, very long time, and he knows his craft, and he's probably a nerd that just sits at home writing and
Yep.
planning it all out, and
You got it.
yeah.
I mean, I got the notebook right here. I'm going to do some writing after this. And it's like Howard Stern. Howard Stern is this like insanely inquisitive, curious guy. And he just happens to be the best interviewer of the last 50 years or whatever. So it's like, it's just in you. You got to just, everybody's got a thing. You just got to figure out the avenue and what it is. And it's probably like Howard Stern said, his parents neglected him. He had all these questions. They wouldn't answer him. So now he's got Mel Gibson on, and he can actually go, what is that about? Why'd you do that? What did that mean? And we're all going, oh my God, this is exactly what I would want to ask. And it's the same with comedy. Like, I don't know, there's so much phoniness and weirdness and comedy in the world that I don't know. It's a perfect job for me.
Okay. So
I'm getting too into it.
No, it's good. If you couldn't do comedy, let's say right now comedy was canceled. That's it. We're done. We don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Well, I would at least try to go behind the scenes and do something comedy adjacent, like punching up scripts or writing for a TV show. But if all that was out and we're talking just real, actual job, I would go FedEx guy or UPS guy.
Really? No bartending?
Nah. Too much people stuff.
Too much people.
You got to chat with the guy. How was your day? You're cleaning the glass with the towel. I don't know. I would go UPS guy. No office. You're in the truck. You got the door open while driving. One of the only people who get to do that. Everybody loves a package. You got shorts on. You're probably getting some housewife banging going too. Let's be honest. You got the brown pants on. Your ass looks good. You got a package.
You knock on the door. Yeah. Hey, I got this package for you. She's like, I bet you do.
Exactly. Everybody loves a package. You get to be a bearer of gifts. You got your podcast going. You're driving. You got music going. So I like out of that. I used to work in an office. And whenever they would say, anybody want to deliver this to 13th Street? I go, I'll do it. You get out of the office for a minute. You get some fresh air. So UPS guy all day.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. That's good. I liked the bartending thing only because I get to drink on the job.
Wow, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, when shit hit the fan for me, I ended up taking up I had a job. I was selling beer on the road and everything was great. And then I got hit with a car accident, the whole thing. Couldn't drive around, do the whole thing anymore. So I ended up bartending, and I realized I fucking love it. I love talking to people, recommending drinks and everything, but physically it just sucks being on your feet for 12 hours. And then after all the fun's over, then you're back there cleaning, and it's just fucking the worst.
Right. Yeah. It's to me, the bartending worries me. I get it. It seems like a cool gig, but you're trapped right there. So if some guy is sitting at the bar, you're just stuck with him. You can't really go back and hang out in the back and be like, when's that guy leaving? And that's what bugs me. I hate trapped feeling.
I feel that way too.
Even as a comic, I'm in Buffalo right now, but I'm leaving tomorrow. So if Buffalo sucks, you're there for 3 days, you suck it up, you see the city, you get some laughs, and you get the fuck out. Yeah. I like that variety. I like that mobility to stand up. You're in, you're out.
Yeah, for sure. That's good. I have that trapped fear as well, but more in a physical, literal sense. Like I hate booths. I hate vocal booths.
Oh, really?
Oh man. It's got to have I have to be able to identify the exit.
Yes, same.
Away, or else I'm freaking out. Like if I remember, I think, and it's a childhood trauma, I'm sure. When I was very little, there was this, those old fairs. They had these, you go up a bunch of ladders and you slide down with a potato sack.
Yes.
Yeah. So one time I did that, and the line kind of stopped as I'm inside of this spiral staircase.
Yeah.
And I lost my shit. It was that person, something's wrong with you. Because I'm like, they're not moving up. I can't leave. I can't go down. That was the panic. That was the first time I realized, maybe it's claustrophobia. I don't really know what it is. I don't like being inside of a box or a tube or some kind of no escape situation.
I mean, buried alive that's got to be up there in #1 fears.
Oh God, that and the ocean. I'm very afraid of deep ocean.
I'm with you. It's so dark, and it's aliens. It's a different space. There's space, and then there's ocean. And it's the same shit. You can't breathe. It's scary.
I took mushrooms once and went swimming in the ocean, and Poseidon spoke to me. I just remember I was like swimming under there, and I remember hearing a voice and like opening my eyes underwater and just seeing a face even, and just thinking the voice was more like, just turn around.
Yeah.
Go back. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Yeah, bye. I'm out of here.
Totally. I get it. That's a good voice.
Yeah, right. I have a fan question. Somebody sent me a fan question.
Hit me, Fatty.
I really want to know what he does before reading a crowd. And do you have any kind of pregame rituals to zone in before a set?
Yeah, a lot of stuff. People ask this all the time. It's fascinating to me that people give a shit about a ritual. But I bring my own guy on the road. You know, comedy works like there's a host, then there's a feature or middle act, we call them, and then the headliner, which is me. So I bring my guy on the road or my gal on the road, and I only bring people I trust who have good jokes, and I watch them usually. And then I can see, okay, this crowd is smart, and they're sober, or they're yelling at him, they're drunk. So I read the crowd with the opener. And then my only pre-show ritual is just like a little bit of a silent time, or just let me sit there and kind of think about my jokes. And then that's it. I mean, nothing crazy. I'm not really drinking. I'm not really, sometimes I want to shower before, but I just like to look at my notes, just get a look at that swastika and then head out there. But nothing too ritualistic where I need to like do push-ups or
candles.
Yeah,
sage.
None of that shit.
Some sage.
Yeah. I mean, I've done so many shows where you just have to run on. Like I'm running off the train. They're like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'll be there too." And I run right in and right on stage and just do your set. So I beat those rituals out of me just because I blew past them so many times. So to me, it's pretty cut and dry. I'm in the green room. They call my name. I go on. That's it.
Okay. All right. And because we're both hungover, I need to ask you, what's your go-to hangover cure?
Yeah. It's been many years of hangovers. I find if you got a doozy, like you can barely stand, I feel like an Adderall will kick it out of you.
Oh, okay.
But an Adderall will also it's very anxiety inducing. Sometimes it never ends. So then you can't sleep that night. So it's got to be a rare, horrible hangover to do with Adderall. But I say coffee, big meal, coffee, big meal. And if you can, exercise a little and brush your teeth.
Yeah, the teeth brushing is good.
You lose that booze flavor because I think your brain keeps tasting that old vodka and it's reminding you almost that you're hungover. So get that toothbrush going and scrape that tongue and gargle and get that out of there and then take a hot shower. And it ain't 100% foolproof, but it helps.
Yeah. The meal thing, I hear you, and I usually go for disgusting meal. Like
yes,
it has to be greasy, tacos, whatever, something to make me go immediately shit, so I can just get it all out of me. My wife doesn't get that. She's like, "You feel like shit. Why are you eating a cheeseburger?" I'm like, "Because I need it all out."
Yeah. And I think a main reason the hangover hits you so hard is because you didn't get any good sleep. You got boozy, tossy-turny sleep. So if you can actually get a nap in the next day, that's a big help too. That's like, that'll kick you 20% back to life.
Yeah. I try because I consider myself a professional in the alcohol world with the beer thing. So I try and maintain, like, while I'm drinking, make sure you're drinking enough water. You know, I've heard secrets of like take a charcoal tablet or whatever the fuck. But, you know, I went down to San Diego not too long ago with Joel Jimenez. I don't know if you know who that is.
Oh, I don't know, Joel. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he and I went down there. We were doing a podcast. We were a guest on, and they just kept feeding us drinks. You know, here's a shot of this, and here's a michelada and a beer. And when we were done with the podcast, we both ended up like, I go to the bathroom real quick and just.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, purge it out.
Helps. Yeah, because that water thing, it's easier said than done. It's like wearing a condom. You know, you're like, I'll do it. Then you're like in the moment, you're like, fuck it, let's live.
Yeah. Once you're in it, you're in.
Yeah. Exactly. So I just try to drink less, but I have bottle of tequila and whiskey on my rider, and I can't help it. I need to like calm down and take the edge off. I like booze so much I don't want to abuse it.
Right. Yeah, you got to respect it. Got to respect
it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay. So you got your next Netflix special thing. Do you know more or less time frame when that's going to be out?
Yeah, they said late October, early November, kind of Halloween-ish. So they're really flipping that thing, editing it, and throwing it out there. So that's a quick turnaround.
Quick turnaround. How often do you write a whole new hour? Because I know like people like Louis and Carlin were always writing a new hour every single time. So
yeah,
after this drops, after this Netflix drop, and you got your Out to Lunch, how soon can we expect to see another hour from you? Is it every year or how often?
Well, here's the clinker: is like this I built during the pandemic and all that, so that's a good year. And I gave Netflix all the cream of the crop A shit. So I that's all gone now. Once that comes out, nobody wants to see that shit live. So I got about 20 that's cooking right now. So I got to build another 30 ASAP. So I am really hustling and scrounging out here on these shows every weekend. So give me a year and I'll have a new hour. I don't know if it'll be a bulletproof, but it'll be enough to get me by.
All right. And now do you want to do more like TV shows, acting? Is that appealing to you, or are you going to just do stand up the whole time?
I can't act. I suck at acting. I bomb every audition. I've never gotten one thing I've auditioned for. Not one. I've done a million auditions. I suck. I get it. It's a waste of time for me. And look, if you got a curb spot, bring it on. He's my hero. You got a spot on Parks and Rec or one of the, I'll do it. It's comedy. I respect the show. But if it's some fucking Daniel Day-Lewis movie, I know I'll never get it. So I don't want to waste my time even trying.
Right.
So
how about one of your own sitcoms, like the Mark Norman Show,
that would be cool. But I mean, nobody's knocking down my door. Nobody's like, "Hey, straight white guy, we need to hear your take," So I don't even think about it. That was an old kind of trope. You do the stand up, you get the sitcom, you become rich and famous. I don't think that's happening anymore. So and it's like a DIY time. Like make your own reality show, put your game show together, man on the street videos, whatever. Don't even wait for these NBC queefs to knock on your door because that shit is over.
Yeah, you got all the tools at your disposal.
Yeah.
You have a leg up personally because you've got 300,000 followers and that kind of that you have a built-in audience, really. So
hell yeah.
You whatever you do, you're going to have people supporting you and following you wherever you go. So if you decide to make your own fucking sitcom, you could do it.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see.
At Mark Normand, you've got We Might Be Drunk.
Yep.
You also got what's your other show? The
Tuesdays with Stories.
I was gonna say Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's what we call our listeners.
Tuesday with Stories with Joe List.
Yep.
Are you planning on maybe even doing your own podcast, like just you on the top of a mountain somewhere talking about?
I'm canoodling with the idea of a Patreon thing. Like I mentioned, having your own channel. I'm going to try to do that with Patreon. Like just have a quick podcast, all this crazy. I got a guy following me now and he films every show, films the green room, films the city. We get a shot of everything. And he's putting all that together and it's really cool footage. I mean, I'm talking behind the scenes at Tonight Show, at the Garden, at the Netflix tape, like all this amazing footage. He's filming everything. And no one has really tapped into that too much. So that might be my Patreon thing. Okay. And that's in the works. But I don't know. I got 2 Patreons with a pod already. I don't know if anyone's going to want to buy another one. So it's an idea. People support,
man. People support. As long as you're putting stuff out there that's funny and good content, I think people will be into it. Did you end up getting this guy, the guy filming, is he like an assistant of sorts? Because I remember hearing you say something like that, like you wanted to get an assistant of some sort.
I need one, but I had 800 guys reach out and go, I'd be perfect. I'll do it for free. I'm Asian, whatever it is. But I still need an assistant so bad that I would read these and be like,
you need an assistant to hire your assistant.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm all over the road. I can barely add or subtract. And, I said yes to this and then I totally missed it. And you're like, hey, I'm ready. I'm like, oh, shit. So I apologize. It was nothing personal. I'm just a douche when it comes to this shit.
Yeah, man. I spiraled into depression. I was like, he doesn't like me. I'm not
I'm
worth
sorry.
it. I'm just kidding. Okay.
I know.
No,
I
saw. I forgot which somebody else's podcast you were a guest on. It's on your channel, but it's somebody else's show.
Yeah.
Which I found interesting, by the way, that you do that. Like you have other shows that you're on your channel.
Yeah.
But anyway, I saw you.
Condition. I just go, hey, can I have this too? And they go, sure. You got more followers. Put it up. It's exposure. I go, great.
Absolutely. Yeah, but I saw you that you had to reschedule a bunch of times with them too, so I didn't take it personally at all.
Yeah. I'm just an idiot.
Last thing I had for you personally, as a married man myself, I know you're on that adventure. How's that going for you?
Good. I feel like a grown-up. I never thought I'd do it. I've been shitting on marriage for 20 years. I still think it's a bit antiquated, but you do it for her. She does anal. I do the marriage. We call it even. And it means a lot to a lot of ladies. So I go, all right, this is silly and dumb, but I like you, and you're a good egg, and we got a good bond and a team. What do you call it? Teamwork,
team effort.
Yeah, we're like a good team, and she helps me, I help her. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It could be my first ex-wife. I'm excited, but yeah, it's an adventure. It's like having a kid. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll throw it in a dumpster. Who the hell knows? But I'm giving it a shot.
Did you guys date for a long time before you guys decided to get married?
Many years, which she reminded me of quite often.
Yeah, that's how I felt with my wife too. Like I hated marriage. The idea was dumb to me.
Yeah.
After being together for 10 years, it was like, all right, let's go.
Right.
Let's do it.
And then you realize nothing really changes except for the ring and the other shit. So
also the women on the road are I don't know what it is. Now they're more attracted to you because you have a ring. They're like, oh, you're willing to commit?
Right.
Come here.
Yeah, women are weird with that shit, but I don't know. Who you can't criticize the ladies.
No,
but,
more power to you. All of the yay women.
Yay
women.
Menstruation. Woo,
Menstruation's great.
Female orgasm.
I wish I could menstruate.
Yeah, we're synced up, baby.
Oh man! All right, brother. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I know you're tired, probably hungover from all of the drinkies. But everybody that's watching and listening, at Mark Norman.
Yeah.
Is it at Mark Norman on all of them, or is it just Twitter? Is it also
at Mark Norman on Instagram, at Mark Norm on Twitter? Some real estate queef got the original, and then marknormancomedy.com.
Oh, yes, that's where you can catch the Out to Lunch. Link is there. It's on YouTube. You also got Don't Be Yourself on iTunes. Really hilarious stuff, man. I'm a big fan now. I was a fan the moment I saw you at Kill Tony, and now, after seeing the special and everything, I'm all in. I'm Tuesday.
God love you. And I got to say, this is the third podcast I've done today on Zoom, and it flew by. You're really good at this. So the other ones were pulling teeth. What else is going on? How's the weather? I'm like, all right. I was counting the minutes, but you're actually a good host and you do your homework. And so well done, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. We'll be in touch. Hopefully, comedy comes back to LA. The store's open, but it's such a hassle to get in there and do things.
I know.
But hopefully, next time you're in LA and you hit the store, we can hang out again and say what's up.
God love you. Praise Allah. And thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Cheers. Oh, and I'll be in touch. Get you a beer. Let's make you a beer.
Please. Yeah. Email me.
For sure. All right, brother. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Mazel.
Mazel.